So the highly anticipated Phone 3a series is out, and today we are going to speak about the Nothing Phone 3a Pro to help you decide if you have to get one for yourself. So first of all, let's talk about the design of the phone. At a first glance, typical Nothing aesthetics, very polarizing, very unconventional camera layout, which is definitely a conversation starter. Speaking of the details, we have less rounded corners compared to the Phone 2a. The glass back helps the textures and details stand out much more, and the aluminum ring that adds to the premium feel. So you got the metallic silver theme going all around, especially with this panel, the aluminum ring, the periscope housing, and the metallic buttons. I love them. Also, is this the first Nothing phone without the red accent, because this got the white going on, and the glyphs are color matched this time, which is great attention to detail. The phone is quite a bit thinner compared to the Phone 2a, although it's got more weight to it. The sides are a rubbery plastic, which helps with the grip. But overall, I find the Phone 2a to be much more comfortable to hold. The Phone 2a looked like a friendly character, but this one, it looks much more bold. I don't know, it looks like an alien to me. But overall, I love the personality, it won't disappoint you. Speaking of the Glyph Interface, I turned this on for the first time and I said, dang, these look much better. But then when I checked, they were on the lowest setting. So yeah, definitely much better glyphs for when you need them, like a soft light for your camera. The functionality is the same as of now. Hopefully in the future, we'll get new features. And this is the first time probably that the glyphs shine onto a part of the phone, which can give much more interesting results for the aesthetic part of it, like the music visualization. Probably the main reason why you'd want to upgrade to the Nothing Phone 3a Pro is the camera. The new periscope lens unlocks a wide range of possibilities, including sweet portraits, stunning macros, and of course the zooming capabilities. And I'm very happy to report that Nothing has stepped up their game in the image processing this year. So yeah, definitely the Nothing Phone 3a Pro is a flagship killer in the camera department, although it comes with some caveats. So there is significant color shifting between lenses. So the ultrawide shots come out with more saturated colors compared to the main lens, whereas the periscope shots come out with relatively muted colors. Also, the portraits can take anywhere up to 1 to 3 seconds to process, which is still quite high and very significant. The periscope lens comes with 3x optical quality and 6x lossless quality, and as a result, the macro shots are very crisp, very sharp, and really as good as they are advertised, which is absolutely crazy for this price range. The 3x optical quality corresponds to 70mm, which is a great focal length for portraits, and the results speak for themselves. We get really crisp details in the flagship grade portraits. Although I feel after the processing, we get an unnaturally high amount of blur. The edge detection doesn't miss the mark quite often. Speaking of the zooming capabilities, although we get up to 60x maximum zoom, if you do not want oil paint artifacts in your shots, under good lighting conditions, you are covered from 1x to 15x. The ultrawide camera is a definite downgrade, although I'd say it's a reasonable trade-off given periscope lenses have much better daily utility. The low light performance has improved too. The videos come out nice and stable given we have optical image stabilization on both primary and periscope cameras, although you cannot shoot 4K 60fps on any of the lenses. I think it is an OS 3.1 feature. We get options to create camera presets with a whole lot of parameters that we can adjust to create presets for specific shooting scenarios and share them with other Nothing users via QR codes. If you are someone who often shoots similar types of photos, you would have a widget of your favorite preset, and I think it is a great feature. Essential space. Let's understand the concept. So it is meant to be a hub of all your ideas, inspirations, notes, tasks, reminders, etc. based on some context. The context as of now, it's your voice or what's on your screen. So if I have to put it to a sentence, I'd say it works great as a model, it does what it says, but then it's still half-baked as a product. But they still have some promises set for the future in the name of smart collections, camera capture, clip to record, and focus search, and they sound much more promising. The Essential Space does quite a few tasks, and let's break one by one. So the number one, it sets reminders based on the context that you send to it. So let's say you came across a social post, you hit the Essential Space, it takes the screen, you can add extra input through your voice and send it to the Essential Space. It then analyzes and sets a reminder for you and yeah, it works quite well. Need to book tickets for this. I even tested some cases where I gave it an event from the past and it says it can't remind me because the event is from the past. So yeah, definitely as a model it works great, but then as a product it just reminds me on time. So not 5 minutes before, not 15 minutes before. So yeah, there are some slight glitches like this that make me disappointed. Number 2, essential space is meant to store your ideas and inspirations and organize them. So let's say, where did you get your ideas and inspirations from? Most likely it is from web images, camera input, or your voice. So you go to the web, open up an image and hit the essential key, and you get no option to crop into the image. So basically at this point, every image that you upload to the essential space is basically a full screen, and this makes the model interpret your intentions wrong. And this as a result doesn't motivate me to use essential space as my hub. I would rather download all the images and create a photo album. Okay, check this. So let's say I want to capture this image as my inspiration. I hit the essential space and I do not get an option to crop. So, and then I put it there. Go to the essential space with a double click. Click on that, and the summary will include both of those, which I do not want. I want only one of those to be cropped neatly and saved as my reference. These are the little stuff that do not motivate me to use this. Speaking of the camera inputs, it's the same story. Currently, the camera inputs look something like this, and the results look something like this. Camera capture is meant to hand over the images directly from camera to essential space, but it's an upcoming feature. Speaking of the organizing part of it, smart collections is again an upcoming feature, and I feel it is going to be the defining feature for the product success. Let's hope it goes well. This can feel as a lash on the essential space, but honestly the model works very well. But as I said before, it is just incomplete as a product, and its success solely depends on the implementation of the future promises and how well they are going to work. Coming to the boring stuff, it's got the usual year-on-year incremental upgrades that you'd expect. So brighter display, better battery life in general, and specifically lesser drainage during the idle times, and also faster charging speeds and all those good stuff. Speaking of gaming experience, I'm not a huge gamer, so specifically you shouldn't take my advice in that regard. Although I can say the chipset is more than enough to provide a great experience in your daily tasks. Finally, I want you to consider one more issue before making your purchase of the Phone 3 series. So some of the Phone 3 units came with this weird display issue where the display shows green tints all over and the blacks used to get cracked in low brightnesses. Having used both, yeah, definitely that was a real issue, and this one comes with a much better display, more accurate colors, and no cracked back whatsoever. So before you make the purchase, please ensure that your unit doesn't come with a green tint issue. Overall, it's a set of trade-offs that Nothing chooses to make that enables them to make such good phones at such good prices. So first of all, they've chosen to downgrade the lesser used ultrawide camera to instead put a periscope lens with a much better daily utility. in terms of portraits, zooming capabilities, and of course macros. The essential space and essential key, I believe, have a huge potential of being a successful consumer AI product in the smartphone space. Also, the Nothing OS, which is known for its outstanding design and a unique user experience. And not a hugely powerful chip, but more than enough to get through your daily tasks. So yeah, all this combined put this phone in a very unique place for the people who less care about the specs and more about the experience associated with their smartphones.